What's up? What's going on? It's been a while. We have not done one of these in quite some time. Hopefully I remember how this all works. Might be a little rusty. Hey, it's preseason for me too, all right? But we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the pregame live chat. There will be Chiefs football tonight. And hopefully some touchdowns. Let's fucking go, man. Here we go. Listen, we know how this works, right? We're going to be excited. It's going to be that first drive. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Royals, Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt. They're going to go and kick some ass out there. It's going to get boring pretty quickly. I'm just being completely honest with you guys. I mean, listen, it's a preseason. Come on. If it's close, like if it's back and forth, yeah, I think a lot of people will stay tuned in, but nothing wrong if I'll be honest, like if I was not a content creator, if I wasn't doing all this stuff, I don't know if I'd be paying attention, but hey, some people love it. Some people only just want to see the starters, and that's perfectly okay. No shame in either whatsoever. How do I watch the game if I'm not in town, guys? I apologize. I don't know. I know the Chiefs put something on their Instagram page, so check that out. To be honest, I don't really look into that because I'm not 100% sure on how all of that works. But if you're local, it is on channel 41. I know the Chiefs will have one of their games broadcast nationally on NFL Network. Might not have the home team announcers, the Chiefs announcers, but hey, at least you get the game. That's all you can really ask for during the preseason, I guess. Welch Juice, I see you. Nick, I see you. Scott, I see you. Will it be on YouTube TV? Yeah, I have YouTube TV. If you live in the Kansas City area, yeah, just look for channel 41. I see you guys. Kevman on IG. Max, I see you. George, I see you on IG. Appreciate you guys. How are you guys feeling? How does everyone feel about this, about tonight's game? Obviously, you want to see everyone come out clean and everyone stay healthy. That is number one. The biggest eyes will be on Josh Simmons. All eyes going to be on him. How's he going to look at left tackle, especially as a pass blocker? And then right next to him, Kingsley Suamataia. How's he looking in that transition to guard? Is he going to be better as a guard than he was a tackle? Certainly hope so. That's what you want to see. And then the two guys on offense at the wide receiver position. I did not think they would get a lot of playing time for the week 1 preseason game, but considering Rashee Rice and Hollywood Brown are not expected to play today, those guys are going to get some snaps with Patrick Mahomes. So I'm excited to see those two guys get involved. Tyquan Thornton was a former second-round pick. By the way, the guy who drafted him was Bill Belichick. That guy clearly knows football. It's just things did not work in New England, and it's not Tyquan Thornton's fault. It's not Mac Jones' fault. There were a lot of things that went wrong in New England. That's why they changed head coaches multiple times. But I think at the end of the day, and I was having a conversation about this with Mark Van Sickle from KCMO Radio. He's been on this podcast before. What excites me about Tyquan Thornton is the speed he brings to this offense. Remember Dexter McCluster? He only spent one season under Andy Reid, but in that one season, Dexter looked really good in Andy Reid's offense. The best he ever had in his career. Jamal Charles, he had a great career. No question about it. The unfortunate part about Jamal Charles is he spent really the last couple of years in Andy Reid's offense towards the tail end of his career before he played with the Broncos and briefly in Jacksonville. Jamal Charles was a great running back before Andy Reid, but under Andy Reid's offense, that dude took his game to another level. They've tried things out with DeAnthony Thomas. Byron Pringle. You guys remember him at wide receiver. Some other wide receivers they've given opportunities to. Kadarius Toney. Andy Reid will take a chance at guys who possess that kind of speed, whether they're guys who fall in the draft or guys who I guess were given up on by previous teams, like Kadarius Toney, like Tyquan Thornton. And so I'm excited to see what he does. Look at Isaiah Pacheco, in the same draft class as Tyquan Thornton. Best 40 time, tied for the best 40 time by any running back. Pacheco, that is. Tyquan Thornton, running backs, wide receivers, all offensive players, best 40 time for him. So I'd love to see what the Chiefs are going to do with Tyquan Thornton in these 2 preseason games. Because in this, listen, I know Andy Reid said that the starters will play for a quarter. He says that every single year ahead of the first preseason game. They only play a series. Because I remember last year or the year before, in the first quarter of the first preseason game, the Chiefs got a second possession in the first quarter, but the backups came in. So expect the Chiefs, unless it's a very short drive, whether it's a pick or a quick touchdown drive, unless it's very quick, expect the Chiefs offense, Mahomes, Kelsey, those guys, to only be out there for one drive. Will I show the game on my Facebook? I do not have the broadcast rights to that. The copyright gods will kick my ass if I do that. I'd love to. I'd love to. Why would you care what the Cardinals do? Well, I think it matters, Steve, because if the Chiefs starters are going up against the Cardinals backups, then it's really hard to have any takeaways. Look at the Bengals. Their starters, offense and defense, went up against Philadelphia's backups on offense and defense, which is pathetic because Cincinnati, first of all, lost the preseason game. Second of all, their starting defense got trucked by the Eagles backups. So, to me, it's like, first of all, I remember Todd Haley left the starters in for a long time ago in a preseason game. I think it was against Green Bay, and the Chiefs starters were getting beat by Packers' third and fourth string guys. It was actually embarrassing to watch. What I want is for them to be able to go and play good football, especially coming off that Super Bowl against the Eagles. The Chiefs just did not look like they were in sync in that football game. So let's see an offense that's in uniform to start off. That's what I would like to see. And then defensively, I gave you 4 guys on offense I'm excited to see the most in terms of guys who are expected to play a lot this year. As far as defense goes, I don't know if we're going to see them much on the first series, but I brought them up many times. The 2 rookie defensive linemen, Omar Norman-Lott and Ashton Gillotte, I'm excited to see what those guys are going to do for this Chiefs team. Remember, Chris Jones signed a long-term deal last year. George Karlaftis just got a long-term extension less than a month ago. So you've got your best defensive end and your best defensive tackle set for the next 4 to 5 years. You've got 2 guys, a defensive tackle in Omar Norman-Lott and a defensive end in Ashton Gillotte, who are on rookie deals. So they're going to be here for 4 years. And the word is from all the experts, the Chiefs had a great draft. Every single player is someone that can be an instant contributor to this Chiefs football team in week 1 of the regular season. So my whole thing right now, looking at this Chiefs team right now, defensively, I want to see Omar Norman-Lott and Ashton Gillotte, what they can bring to the table. Because in the future, such as 2026 and beyond, I'm thinking Kansas City starting defensive line could have Karlaftis and Gillotte as defensive ends and Omar Norman-Lott and Chris Jones as defensive tackles. Your starters is what I'm trying to get at. And I think this is where it starts for Gillotte and Omar Norman-Lott. Omar Norman-Lott had the best pass rush win rate of any defensive tackle in college football last year. And Ashton Gillotte was the top 10 edge rusher among defensive ends. So I want to know what those 2 guys are going to look like in a Chiefs uniform, their first preseason game. Because for now, your main defensive ends and defensive tackles, but other than Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, you have Charles Omenihu, you have Mike Dana. I guess Felix and DK Uzama for now is still on the team. You have Mike Pennell. You have Jerry Tillery, a veteran who's been around for a few years. But those two rookies are going to get involved a lot this year as well. And I think they're going to help make this defensive line better. Because I think Deshaun Wharton, that's a big loss for your defense. But I like those two guys that they drafted this year. And I think they're going to be key contributors to your defense. Another rookie I'm curious to see would be Noel Williams. This guy led all college football defenders in interceptions last year. Also had one against Cam Ward, the #1 pick in the draft this year. So I'm curious what he's going to do in this game, because going up against Kansas City's offense, that's no easy task right there. You're going up against Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, Tyquan Thornton, Jalen Royals, guys who have these, they possess all the great speed, 4.2, 4.3, 4.40s. I mean, that's the type of offense you're going up against. So I'm curious to see what those guys look like in this first preseason game. Two defensive backs that kind of struggled as well, Brian Cook and Jalen Watson. Man, they got worked a lot in training camp. They've been going up against these guys, like I mentioned, the speed that the wide receivers have. So, how do they look against the Cardinals' offense? That's what I'm curious to see. Any local channel showing the game? If you're in Kansas City, this will be on channel 41. I don't know what channel it's going to be on in Arizona. I apologize, but hey, listen, there are plenty of ways. I know the Chiefs app will give you opportunities. If you have NFL Plus, that'll be another way you can catch the game as well. They evaluate everything they do because they aren't on the Chiefs' levels. Yeah. And listen, think back to the blocked field goal against the Broncos last year. Why did the Chiefs get that? Because they studied Alex Forsyth, that offensive lineman. He had been getting knocked down all season long in field goal operations for the Broncos. The problem is no team took advantage of it. But the Chiefs, they saw that hole. And Alex Forsyth was getting knocked down every single field goal snap in that game. And the one time where the Chiefs needed to come through and take advantage of his woes, they did it to block the field goal and win the game. My point is this. Kansas City is always going to study every angle, evaluate every angle, look at every single minor detail, because that is how this team operates. That's how Andy Reid leads as a coach. I know Matt Nagy may not be the most popular guy amongst Chiefs fans, but he's been around the game a very long time, a former head coach, former coach of the year. This guy knows how to evaluate football players. Spags, I mean, listen, I've said it on record many times. He is the best defensive coordinator in NFL history. I mean, he's got 4 Super Bowl rings, doing it with 2 different teams. The things that he has done. And listen, Dick LeBeau, Romeo Crennel, great defensive coaches as well. Spags is just better in my mind. And you have one of the best special teams coordinators of all time in Dave Toub. And he's been doing a great job even before his time in Kansas City with Chicago. You saw what he did with Devin Hester and the crew there. So you have a coaching staff. And you have Joe Cullen, a former defensive coordinator. You have Brendan Daly, a guy who has been around Bill Belichick for a long time. He understands what it means to be a good coach because he's been around great coaches in Kansas City and in Foxborough. You have all of these pieces in place, and I think Kansas City will always figure out what they need to do. They'll evaluate everything the right way. They'll make sure they have the right 53. Remember Scott Pioli? He talked about the right 53. That mantra kind of applies to this organization right now, for sure. All right. Well, I spent about 15 minutes with you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and step away. We got about 43 minutes until kickoff. It's going to be a long 43 minutes. Go get a snack, get some dinner, do what you got to do. And let's get ready to talk some Chiefs football as the night goes on. Hey, quick reminder. This has been an awesome offseason. The numbers have gone up every offseason, and then every year they go up. You guys are the best. I appreciate you guys for a great offseason, and now we get ready for a new season. Just a reminder, we will be back at halftime. We will do the halftime live stream We'll recap the first half, talk about some of the highlights there. And then after the game, I know it's going to be a late night, but hey, it's a Sunday morning tomorrow. So I don't think you guys have much to do. Come join me after the game. We will do the Chiefs Zone podcast live. And listen, it is a preseason, so we're not going to dive into this game too much, but we'll still talk about some of the big takeaways from the first preseason game. So that'll take place immediately following the final score for tonight's preseason game. We'll go live, and then throughout tomorrow, we'll have short video clips and reels. If you guys could comment on those, like those, share those, that really helps a lot. Whenever you guys comment on things, whenever you guys like things, share things, that really does help spread the word about these live streams, our social media, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. It really does help out a lot. So if you guys can make sure you're commenting or even just giving it a simple like or a share, that really does help out a lot. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. I'm going to get out of here. Enjoy the remaining 41 minutes before the first Chiefs game of the preseason. You guys take care. I'll talk to you all at halftime.